Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Rumble match. Introducing first, on the way to the ring, from Charlotte, North Carolina, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Rumble match. Introducing first, on the way to the ring, from the Caribbean, weighing 230 pounds, Carlito.
You're not going to get him with that one. I can't believe he countered that one. I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that would be no easy feat.
What a counter!
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it?
How can you say that, JR? Edge is one of the most exciting and dynamic superstars on the Raw roster. And I hope you don't drive him to Smackdown with the way you slander him.
It doesn't appear that Edge is getting much love from this crowd tonight. And who can blame them? They're certainly not getting much from Edge. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it.
You countered that and made it look easy.
I've got to say, JR, I'm really impressed by what we've seen here tonight.
How could you not be, King? These are some of the finest athletes in all of sports entertainment.
I know that, JR. I'm just saying it.
Did you see that? Ring the damn bell. You can't let somebody get away with that.
I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal. There's the reversal.
Is that? Yes, that's an elimination. That went nowhere.
You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid.
Yes, that was an incredible move. What strategy?
Strategy my Oklahoma ass. That's cheap, plain and simple. And been reversed.
He saw that one coming.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have their deed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
Over the top rope and down to the floor. That's an elimination.
Look at this. Look at this. You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here.
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not going to end well.
There's absolutely no question in my mind that Ric Flair is one of the true legends of this business.
All's fair in love and war, JR. And I love it when this guy goes to war.
Whoever said that cheaters never prosper certainly never saw this man in action.
Oh, boy. These fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got the right to say whatever they want.
It's like he read his opponent's mind.
Would you look at that? A blatantly illegal maneuver. That should be a disqualification.
You might be right, JR, but I don't hear the ring bell. This match is still going. He reversed it. Watch out! He reversed it. He countered that one perfectly.
This Lashley is an absolute monster. We've seen him decimate just about every opponent he's ever stepped into the ring against.
Yeah? Well, how much of that has to do with the fact that he's on Smackdown, JR? Do you seriously think he'd have that kind of luck on Raw?
Luck has nothing to do with it, King. This young man is strong. He's fast. And he's got more power than the electric company. He's all fired up now, King, and I'd hate to be on the receiving end.
I don't think his opponent's got a hope of hurting him now. What does he think he's doing? He's just showing off for the crowd now.
No! How can the referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision.
Sounds like this crowd's got something on their minds, King.
Who cares about them, JR? Look what's going on in the ring. You ever think you'd be... It looks like he might be going for the submission here, JR.
He sure is. He's got the lasso from El Paso locked in. Excellent counter. What ring presence.
Ric Flair's a 16-time world champion, JR. 16 times. There's not a WWE superstar in history who's done that.
There he goes. He's out of the match.
I don't think the fans appreciated that one very much, but I don't think he cares much what the fans think.
That much is obvious, King. What a low-down, despicable move that was.
I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be...
That's it. He's out of the ring, and that means he's out of the match, too. Wow. Listen to these fans, JR. You talk about adding insult to injury, tossed out of the ring and the match.
Oh, for the love of... Open your eyes, Red. I can't believe he got away with that.
Well, you might not like it, JR, but he's going to do whatever it takes to win this.
What a reversal. A textbook reversal there.
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's going to go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be...
Wow, he wasn't too gentle about throwing him out. Slowed the match down a little, and I think that's some good strategy right there.
It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Is that why you always seem to be in such a hurry, JR?
I think I've eaten a little too much good Oklahoma barbecue in my day, King, to hurry anyway. He's a slippery devil. I think he's going for a King. This could be it.
Oh no! Crippler cross face! If you can't break that hold, it can break your neck!
Boy, what an incredible editor Rey Mysterio is. I have to say that pound for pound, he might be the most exciting superstar on the Smackdown roster.
That's an easy claim to make, JR. Mysterio only weighs about 90 pounds soaking wet with a brick in each pocket.
Boy, you stop it. He's 165 pounds and 5'6". He might be on the smaller end of the spectrum, but that doesn't diminish his ability.
If you say so, JR, I still think Mysterio should hit the yellow brick road and get himself back to Munchkin Land.
I think this crowd's giving these superstars...
Oh my gosh! He's been eliminated from the match! Out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all. He's not going to get caught with that one.
JR, he's going for it!
The RKO! The RKO!
Oh, he's big all right, JR. He can't even go to the beach anymore because Greenpeace keeps trying to tow him back into the ocean.
You better hope that the Big Show doesn't hear you saying that, King. I'm not so sure he'd be as amused by your sense of humor as you... He's been removed from the ring and from contention in this match. He's taken every advantage in this matchup, and it looks like he plans on taking a few more.
If he's not the dirtiest player in the game, JR, he's a shoo-in for second place.
He doesn't look too happy about it, but an elimination is an elimination. I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech.
God bless the First Amendment, JR. His opponent telegraphed that one.
And here comes the signature move.
The backcracker. How cool is that, JR? This match has the potential to be an instant classic, but I think these fans are too stupid to realize it.
How can you say that, King? How can you insult the intelligence of these WWE fans?
Well, I heard that we gave him an IQ test, and the results came back negative.
Folks, I've got to apologize for the King here tonight. He must have gotten up on the wrong side of somebody else's bed.
Well, there's one less superstar in this match now. I've been looking forward to this match all night, JR. I can't believe it's finally underway.
This has been a hotly anticipated contest. This match has come to an abrupt end for that superstar.
Up and over and out. Eliminated.
Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard to guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well, then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, but I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full. And there's the elimination!
I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. I think you got a selective memory there, Kingfish. I seem to remember Triple H and Ric Flair turning on Orton and knocking some of the cockiness out of him when they did it.
Well, if that's true, it's just a matter of jealousy. And I think that's pretty sad, coming from two men who have more than 25 world title reigns between them.
The Game and Flair are no strangers to championship gold, but Orton won it younger than either one of them. And don't think he didn't let it go straight to his head either.
You always see the worst in people, JR. Why shouldn't Orton be proud of being the youngest world champion in WWE history?
What a phenomenon is the Animal Batista. You talk about a force of nature, you're looking at him right there. I tell you, kid.
He just stole his opponent's finishing move. Talk about adding insult to injury, JR. How can Shawn Michaels keep... I don't believe it! He's been eliminated! He took a ride over the top rope, down to the floor, and out of this match. Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. Remember, without these fans, these superstars are out of a job.
JR's not going to be happy about this one, folks. I think one of... Oh, no! I can't watch!
My God, that will break you in half. I can't imagine how anyone could come back from something like that.
I think I know who's going to win this one, JR.
Oh, really? Enlighten us, King.
Wait a second. Why are you so eager to hear my prediction?
Because I want to know who's going to win. And 9 times out of 10, it's not the superstar you pick.
Looks like his hopes of winning this one have been shattered, JR.
Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their mind.
You sure can, JR. And I don't think we'd have it any other way. I'd ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. Quite frankly, I'd rather see a good competitive matchup than see a particular superstar win or lose this thing.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows you play favorites. You're always trying to kiss up to the fans by talking up whoever they're cheering for.
I never been a...
Look at that! He's bleeding like a stuck pig!
She's clearly in control of her opponent here.
And there it is! The Stratisfaction! Another stratified customer, JR!
Oh boy, the adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of...
Oh man! That's gonna change the tone of this match, JR!
Yeah, and not for the better either. I wish the ref would actually pay attention to what's going on. That's it. The match is over for that particular superstar.
I'm not sure I agree with what...
He might as well start walking back to the locker room. He's out of this match.
These fans can't stand it when he does this, JR, but I think it's great!
He's sure not going to win over any fans for that move, but I don't think that bothered. He just got tossed out rather unceremoniously, in my opinion.
I know you're always complaining about Randy Orton's ego, JR, but let's face it, Orton was the youngest world heavyweight champion of all time. I think he's earned the right to be a little arrogant.
I'm not taking anything away from Orton's accomplishments, King, but no one's got a higher opinion of him than Orton himself. Sometimes I wish he'd just shut his mouth and show us what he's got. That's one fewer superstar in this match.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject which you happen to be something of an authority. Isn't that right, King?
Come on now, JR. A man doesn't know what true happiness is until he's married. And then it's too late.
When I look at what Shelton Benjamin has become, it turns my sooner stomach like burnt orange. I can't believe a bright young kid with his potential has let his success go straight to his head like this.
I think you're just jealous, JR. Why can't you give Shelton the credit he deserves?
I give him all the credit in the world, King. He's held the tag team title. He's practically spent more time with the Intercontinental title than he has without it. But it seems like the more successful he gets, the more of an ass he becomes.
Well, I think that if Shelton had to choose between all of his success and making you happy, I'm pretty sure I know which way it'd go. This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody will be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that.
I'll agree with you about the larger part, JR. He's about as wide as he is tall. I'd say he should take up sumo wrestling, but I don't want to see him in a loincloth.
No one's ever going to accuse Big Show of being a pretty little ballerina, King. But I think he's a great deal more agile than you give him credit for.
Well, he couldn't be much less. He's got all the grace of a bull elephant and half the size. You think this is going to be a back-and-forth kind of match? Or do you think this is going to be pretty one-sided, JR?
I couldn't tell you, King. These superstars are so unpredictable that you can never tell how a match is going to go.
That was a long way to go for a simple, I don't know, JR. Man, look at
This capacity crowd is solidly behind their superstar. Look at this.
wow. Could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary?
This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little.
Oh, no. This is classic old-school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute, JR. You're not trying to say that I'm old, are you?
Of course not, King. Although there was that rumor going around about your Social Security number was 1.
Oh, come on, JR. You can't honestly tell me that you wouldn't sleep better tonight if this guy was... I think he's going for the throat here, JR. Literally.
A huge choke slam. There's no question why he calls it the showstopper. So, King, any predictions about the outcome of this match?
No, no. Every time I make a guess as to who's going to win, I never hear the end of it from you.
Maybe that wouldn't happen if you got one right. If one of these superstars starts to build momentum, it could be the beginning of the end of this match.
That's right, JR. You don't see a lot of matches won with 1 or 2 big moves.
You sure don't. You've got to lay the groundwork first. This is Raw action at its finest. That's why Raw is the #1 brand of sports entertainment.
You got that right, JR. You're not going to see this kind of action on Smackdown.
Not on Smackdown or anywhere else. There's nothing else out there that can come close to the excitement of seeing the Raw superstars perform live.
I am so glad Chris Benoit isn't the World Heavyweight Champion anymore, JR. I couldn't stand it when Raw was being represented by someone like him.
Oh, yeah. What a tragedy it was to have a champion who was utterly devoted to the business and to the fans, and who always went out to that ring and gave 110%.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It surely is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact.
Boy, it's obvious these superstars have done their homework on each other.
They sure have, and this is one hell of an exam.
Let's hope it's not their final exam, JR. I'd love to see them go at it again.
Well, if I think the fans have their way, you'll get your wish, King.
These superstars are beating the heck out of each other, and this crowd can't get enough of it.
It's what they paid to see, King, and they're getting their money's worth tonight.
They sure are, JR. There's no question these superstars are earning their paychecks.
Finley hails from the Irish Isles, and I thought to think that when they coined the term Fighting Irish, they had this lad in mind.
You might be right. I've never seen a guy who likes to fight as much as Finley.
And that's probably because he's damn good at it. He spent his whole life fighting, and every time he gets into that ring, he puts on a clinic. If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match. That's for sure.